Greetings to you all, and welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa with me, atypical Omega. Sakura got it all right. Well done.
The note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Indeed, indeed.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Dude. Look at this ring of students. See if you can spot any similarities between the deceased students and the alive students. Then look at Hifumi's spot. Come on, you can do it now.
Sorry, no.
Look to my left. Oh, my right. Look to the left of the screen.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
Well, that's not true. He came back to
The
life.
second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
So Hifumi walked to the repository and locked himself in. Maybe with someone, maybe he let someone in later. Maybe someone was hiding in the repository when he came in. He locks the door, they kill him. Alright.
During that time,
Making
we
sense.
all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
This is because we keep splitting up! When are we gonna learn to stop doing that?
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
That's a good point.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus.
That's a good point.
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
Oh, aye.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all.
Well, he was walloped by a mallet.
But
We know
Justice
this.
Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
Yes, but his body was found in the art supplies room, where the mallets are stored.
So if
You
Hifumi
moron.
was killed in the repository,
And one of the mallets had been washed recently,
Whoever
huh?
would have had to
Gotcha,
grab one
I
of the
gotcha.
hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
You're a goddamn idiot.
Wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
No, there's not.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments.
Yes, that means they were killed with mallets, not that they were killed with things that have been painted and labelled Justice Hammer.
The hammers were already laying around those other rooms.
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Bold assumption, I think you could kill someone with a mallet if you struck them hard enough.
Is it not possible
In
they
respect
used a different
of the
weapon?
size.
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
You're a goddamn idiot.
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The legendary Justice Hammer number 0. Unlabeled, unnumbered. I mean, I have no idea. Let's figure it out, guys. Could be anything. It might even have been the blue top.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Spotless hammer.
Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe
I should-
Justice Hammer 4?
I should have shot it instantly.
Well,
I'm confident.
Whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
I mean, I could shoot that because I think Spotless Hammer is.
For more info.
Well,
Might as well check that out.
seems pretty clear.
Sorry, I got distracted.
The weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
I mean, that's also wrong.
That's about it.
I feel like I could shoot multiple things here.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
What? I'm literally answering your question. Is that not good enough? Fine, I'm gonna shoot must be one of the Justice Hammers then.
How was the culprit? If how did nobody sounds like a Justice Hammer. Check out murdergear.com.
Well, one thing since the murder weapon had to be one of the Justice.
Oh, right. I have to shout out, wait, that's wrong. I can't respond to, I wonder what weapon it was with, wait, that's wrong. You don't wonder what weapon it was?
Wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
No, it wasn't. It was a mallet.
But
It's exactly the same.
a different weapon?
It just hadn't been painted.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository...
Oh, I'm really feeling it. Look at me go. Violently backwards and forwards. That's how I know I'm on the right track.
But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's
That's why all of my hammers are
of course
clean.
they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones,
He's right, you know.
and even some flat mallet-like ones.
They're all flat mallets.
I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
I don't think they're designed, I think they're painted. Look, you're literally missing 4 hammers.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that was the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
It's interesting. I still have no idea why you'd move Taka's body anywhere.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did. Well, if there is a reason to work together, I don't know what it is. But I'm about to pretend like I know exactly what it is. It's broken wristwatches, that's why.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive.
That's true.
Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that 2 people work together on this.
It's not impossible.
That is how the rule
It's
was
just
explained to us.
illogical.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that 2 people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained.
I see. I see.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Yoko's right. So I think the point here is that if 2 people work together, and then they agree to commit 2 murders as a team, each of them killing 1 person, then they would potentially both graduate. I think that's what the game's hinting at.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true.
Enough of your lies. You're lying way too often. You're talking way too much, Celeste.
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
I mean, I never believed they were working together in the first place. I thought this was copycat murder.
What do you mean?
But I'm okay to believe that it was a teamwork
If there'd only
based
been one
effort.
murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
We don't need to explain that term,
Payoff
it's alright.
working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
That is what
I
she's
think
saying,
that's
yes.
what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Who the hell betrayed my Hifumi? I mean, I know he betrayed us all and was going to get me killed if he had his way. But who dare betray my beautiful Hifumi?
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan.
The mastermind is someone intelligent that narrows the field down quite a bit.
And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Who the hell is this cold-hearted?
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
It's not Hina.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
It's not Byakuya. I mean, she certainly got the brain power to pull it off.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
I mean, my instinct is it's Celeste, because she keeps telling me everything that we come up with is impossible and can't be true. Everything we suggest, she goes, no, that can't be right, and we prove it, yes it can, shut up. She's sort of hindering the investigation as much as possible, which makes her look bad. But I shouldn't read too much into that, I suppose. Let me actually think about who it could be. For 1 minute and 10 seconds, but me. Is it going to be like a double whammy where Taka was working with Yamada and Yamada betrayed him? No, that doesn't make any sense. Where were people when Yamada died? Celeste took a photo. Celeste took a photo of Yamada being attacked by Robo Justice, but that never happened. That was faked. Yamada wasn't attacked at that point, and neither was Celeste.
It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual.
Yes, you are.
Am I?
Die.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
She's trying to deflect. Kill her.
Joke?
Kill her now.
I wonder.
what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Of course, you couldn't resist his manly
The
charms.
idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him,
You watch your tongue.
that I would go within 10 feet of that shit-brain, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot!
You're not fooling anyone with this act. We all know how in love with him you were.
Pardonnez-moi.
You're French all of a sudden.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
I don't have any, but if you have some, then I'm willing to pretend I knew all along.
That's so.
Do you understand?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Hifumi's pants. I mean, this is my answer. Encountering the suspicious individual. They're the only two that actually had any interaction with Robo Justice.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Oh. Well, that was close.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on...
I gotta learn to stand up for myself a bit against this Byakuya guy.
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Spot on.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
She said, "Come on, Hina, you need to go to the toilet right now. Leave Hifumi alone."
We headed
And
to the
that
second
as well.
floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the 3rd floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Wait, I've forgotten about this. This is a good point. Because the whole reason we went down the corridor towards the physics lab is because there was no way out. That was it. If Robo Justice was there, he would have had to have been cornered in the physics lab. We got there, found the body, and forgot about him.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into 2 groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
That is an incredibly wild gambit.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
It's less wild now. Did she pace her walking based on how long she thought it would take people to get to Taka's body? What if they'd stopped off for the loo? It could have
if
ruined
Celeste
everything.
and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
You're goddamn right, Byakuya.
And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing.
Oh, we're already piling on
We
her now.
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead. Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered.
That's not that strange given the fact he was covered in blood.
You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act!
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Not exactly, she took me to the toilets.
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
She deliberately overfed you donuts to make you feel sick. Unforgivable.
This isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
I feel like Celeste has given up at this point.
Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
She's over there, mate.
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
I think she made many mistakes. We just pointed them out for the last 5 minutes.
Did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but
I caught it! This is the thing where I said I thought I knew who the killer was a long time ago. And I think it's about to be shown. And if this isn't the point, then I'm going to look an idiot. But she said something along the lines of, I didn't think those guys would have been murdered at a time where Naegi knew that Taka was dead and Hifumi was dead. But Celeste didn't. It was the point when Naegi went back down after finding Taka's body to tell Hina and Celeste what was going on. At that point, Naegi is the only one in that three that knows there's 2 murders. Celeste shouldn't know. And she said something about those guys having been murdered. Plural.
looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
I think, anyway, if this isn't the point. Yes, this is exactly the line. I picked up on it! I'm so proud of myself. And I didn't mention it at the time. And I had to bite my tongue so hard to not say it. And then I didn't talk about the fact that I'd seen it until something like 2 episodes later, because I didn't want to spoil it for other people. I wanted them to enjoy solving the mystery. But I picked up on that, and it wasn't even written in yellow.
I remember her saying that too, but...
Keep up, Sakura! How would she know it was plural?
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
It means she knew Taka was already dead, you idiot.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
I mean, she can repeat it even if she is the culprit. That doesn't really prove anything. No, wait, we gotta play this game. I thought we were just gonna reveal it. I thought the game made it pretty apparent. None of that helps me, does it?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around,
Not us.
frightened and
That's fine.
confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here.
That's fine.
We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Wait, sorry, I want to absorb.
And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Wait. No! Am I supposed to... Wait. I hate it when I know the answer, but I can't phrase it within the framework of the game. Okay.
Really be enjoying this.
Let me just double check. What even is your account? That's fine. None of this means anything.
Enjoying
The sight of us standing around, frightened and confused.
Okay, so I'm going to shout out "No, that's wrong" to something. What am I shouting out "No, that's wrong"
We're
to?
all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
I'm shouting out "No, that's wrong" to that. I'm shooting those guys.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I guess I'm taking "so strange" as my bullet.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those... No, it's wrong.
Seriously though, if anyone else wants to chip in, Kyoko, you seem to have this thing on lock.
There's no reason Celeste should
Feel
have
free to
said,
counter-argue
"Just like those
anyone.
guys died." When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall.
I do find that a bit confusing sometimes. When you've got two phrases and you want to absorb one and fire at the other, it confuses me as to which way round I need to do it, but I'm starting to get the hang of
There
it.
was never any chance for her to
I
have
think.
seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
I mean, guys is generally a gender-neutral term. I wouldn't
Because
hang
Kyoko
too heavily on
also
that.
disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
That's a fair point, but irrelevant. That's a good look.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
We're aware, but this is neither the place nor the time.
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw.
Correct.
Then what about the picture I took?
Nonsense, because you're a liar.
How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
Very easily, you're wearing the costume.
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then
Yes.
use the camera's timer to set up the picture.
That's the most sensible thing you've ever said in your life, hero. Congratulations.
Forgotten. You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit.
There could be more than one suit, you moron. It's made of cardboard. We've got an incinerator.
That this particular camera does not have a timer.
Damn it. You've got long arms.
In other words, it is an
Maybe you pressed it with your hair. That seems to go on for
This
miles.
is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Photoshop.
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
Wait, no one even needs to be in that robot, right? Hifumi could just be... You could just build the robot with no one in it, put its cardboard arms on you and take the picture.
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Well, that's that then. Who shall we kill? You can't trust Yamada's expression here. It's meaningless. If we're setting up a fake picture, he's obviously on board with it, isn't he? Here we go. Some good, strong options. Guess?
I got it!
It's not how I'd phrase it.
Not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around.
I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think it's just the suit with no one in it.
And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing.
Why are we zooming out? It's ominous.
It's utterly impossible.
Okay. Damn, she's got an answer for everything, this one.
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Well, I don't know, Hifumi doing manual labour. It's pretty ridiculous.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Wow. Tensions are flaring up a little bit here. Can we hurry up and just kill this damn woman? Interesting selection of objects.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Okay. The problem with that is that when you're in the robot suit, you can't bend. So even if you're unconscious, you would be slumped a bit, but you would still be, to the outside world, upright.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out.
So I think I understand what I'm
Across Hifumi and had him carry my
shooting
weight.
here,
You tried to make me look
I think.
like the bad guy.
It's one of Celeste's statements.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious,
That's fine, because he was unconscious.
there's no way they could
Okay.
stand up straight
No,
like
no,
that.
no, don't absorb!
Then the
Damn it.
fortune-telling idiot is the culprit
It's left click to
after
fire
all.
and it's hold left click to absorb. Let me get rid of this bullet. Damn control scheme. It's the hardest part of this game, I swear.
You tried to make me look
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person inside, there's no way they could stand up.
Enough of your lies. Execute her in the most fitting way possible. What's fitting for her? She likes to gamble.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
That's right. I can't get over this picture of Hina's head.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
That's the face of an innocent woman. I take it all back.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Yeah, you know, when the game's over and you can't come back. Don't spin my camera. I'm feeling dizzy. You guys, we might need to cover our ears here. I think this is going to get loud. I just got a feeling.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
There we go.
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
That was kind of damning.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
Somehow I'm going to convince this entire group of people that when he said Yasuhiro, he meant Celeste.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Alright, calm down. Still discussing things.
My name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Good point. He's in the clear.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
I think Tara's made his position perfectly clear.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
Who is this hero you speak of? You mean Taro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Monokuma, ready the stakes. I think I know how she's gonna die.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather
How
not
did
if
he
it's the same with
refer
you.
to each of us?
I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. He called me Mr. Naegi. What does that mean? I don't know what's my first name and what's my last name. I'm Japanese. It confuses me.
I got it! That's right! Our last name!
Yes, right. Okay. Oh, yes. My name's
By our
Makoto,
last
of
names.
course.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Yes, he loved to say
So
that.
if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
We can't keep changing how we pronounce his name. It's Hagakure a minute ago. Now it's Hagakure.
Incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
There's nothing indecent about using somebody's first name.
Don't talk.
Random
Thank you,
chance.
Byakuya.
Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to.
Now you see, I know Celeste has asked us to please refer to her as Celeste instead of her actual name. I remember this right at the beginning, but wasn't her real name something like Ludenberg?
And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
She did, it was Ludenberg.
What did you just say? To think you take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
The voice actress is having a good time with this one, you can tell.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you?
Little bit.
Well,